The first item I have on the agenda this evening is a request for 7 sets of firefighter turnout gear through the Ohio Cooperative Purchasing Program. Annually, we replace protective clothing, turnout gear for our firefighters. What we try to do is keep this on a rotational basis so that each one of our individuals, has protective gear that is up to the NFPA and up to our standards. This year, the gear costs about $1,965 for each set of protective gear, which is the coat, the pants, and everything that meets those specifications. We are requesting replacement of 7 sets of gear in an amount not to exceed $13,755 through Lion Apparel of Dayton, Ohio, and they are the folks that got the bid through the Ohio Cooperative Purchasing Program.
May I have a motion to authorize the purchase, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Moved by Councilman Miller, seconded by the mayor. Any discussion? John?
Thank you, Madam President. We recently laid off 6 firefighters. I guess my first question would be, is it possible to use that turnout gear for the other firemen?
Thank you, Councilman Kalp. I'll address that question. This gear is especially made for each individual. They are custom made, custom tailored. It's not like you can go and buy it off the rack. It takes about 3 months for it to be processed. And the gear that we have in storage of those 6 individuals, we hope that we'll be able to pass the issue that's before the voters, and those folks will be back in that gear. But with regard to custom fitting and making sure that that gear that's in storage would fit the folks in rotation, I'm not quite sure that that would be conducive.
Well, I mean, we put a lot of things on hold. We put police cars on hold. This bid is good through October 31st, 2011, it looks like. It would be my opinion that we put this $13,755 on hold until we find out what happens in November. Just so the taxpayers know, I mean, this is one of the only occupations that I know of that you're not responsible for absolutely anything. They get a $750 allowance for uniforms, so they don't even buy the clothing that they wear to work. A tool and die maker is responsible to purchase his own tools. A carpenter buys his own tools. Maybe a fireman should have to buy his own turnout gear once every 5 to 10 years. It says that the gear is good for 10 years. $1,965, if it's going to last you for 10 years, is a pretty good investment when you're making $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year. So it's my opinion that we should wait on this expenditure until after the election. Thank you.
Thank you. Dale?
I agree with Councilman Kalp. It says in here mandatory replacement is required every 10 years. Once again, I will tell the firefighters that we're in the most serious financial crisis in the history of the city, and I don't know if they understand that. And so I see no reason why to do this replacement after 5 years. They need to wait like the rest of our employees, like the non-union hadn't have a raise for 2 years. So I can't support this. Thank you, Madam President.
Anyone else?
How old is the gear?
All of the sets of gear that we have up for replacement are over 5 years of age. This gear is actually monthly inspected, maintained, and tailored, well, not tailored, but kept in a usable condition. And so that we can maintain that kind of quality, and this is a safety issue, this isn't something that we can just put off. This is just as important as a bulletproof vest for a police officer. This is their base safety, and if you don't have confidence in your gear, or if it's beyond repair, then it needs to be replaced. And that's why we're bringing forth, and have done so every year for my tenure of 10 years.
How come the mandatory requirement is 10 years?
That's when the standard states that it has to be disposed of. It's also recommended in there, you'll see that it states every 5 years for replacement, or when it's damaged beyond repair.
I have a hard time believing that the gear needs replaced every 5 years. That's just my personal opinion.
Bill?
I have no comment on the fire gear because it's a safety issue. But the fire chief brought up the fact that it's similar to a bulletproof vest. Our police officers buy those. They don't buy the SWAT ones.
My point exactly. Thank you very much,
The
Councilman.
SWAT gear we purchase.
I
No.
believe-
Personal.
We buy the vests.
We buy the
Yes, we
bulletproof
do.
vests.
Well, I know my friend that's in Dayton, and I got a friend in Columbus. They buy their own
Well, they may, but
bulletproof vest.
not here.
So
They're in the, they're
I-
bought here.
Maybe that's another change we need to make.
I don't know.
Anything
It's
else?
a safety issue. I don't want anybody's safety hurt. So. No, ma'am.
Roll call.
Vice President Mills.
Aye.
Councilman Kaup.
No.
Councilman Louderback.
No.
Councilman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Smith.
Aye.
Mayor Bayless.
Aye.
President Felton.
Aye.
Motion carried.